Turnitin has a feature called grading forms. What this allows us to do is to create a form with a number of different fields in it that would represent our criteria in a rubric. When you come to give the feedback, you'll simply fill out the form, and this will be displayed to students in a nice neat fashion with the criterion heading and your piece of specific feedback for that student. To create a grading form, we're going to have to access the Manage Rubrics and Grading Forms tool. The best way to do this is to access it via an already submitted assignment. You can add a grading form or indeed a rubric into an assignment all the way up until the point when you start grading. You can access this in a few other ways. However, accessing it this way is probably the best, as it gives you the largest window space to work in, which just makes life a little bit easier. I'm in an already submitted assignment here, and I've already clicked the rubric form button to expand this window. I'm going to go to the cog icon to open up the Rubric and Grading Forms Manager. This will open on the last rubric or grading form that you've had open. So for me, this happens to be this demo rubric. I'm going to go over here though to this hamburger icon in the top left corner. Click it and then select Create New Grading Form. This takes us into a blank form here. As default, we have 3 criterion. We can add more by pressing this plus add criterion button at the bottom. Each criteria has a short title field and then an optional description box as well. You can change the name of the grading form up here, and over to the right here we have this enable scoring tick box. What this is for is to give you a small mark box that appears next to the criterion title when you're giving your feedback, and you can put a mark in there and the system adds up the numbers for you and creates a grade. In practice, most of the educators I work with actually don't find this anywhere near as useful as it might sound, and in the main don't use it. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to untick that. So now let's actually make ourselves a grading form. So the first thing I'm going to do is give it a name. Demo grading form, pushing the boat out in the imagination there. And then what I'm going to do is fill out each of these criterion titles and descriptions. So you can see now that we have all of the boxes filled out. I'm just going to hit save. Blue box turns to grey, so we know that's now saved. And the last thing we need to do is attach this grading form to our current assignment. We do that by clicking this box here, and we'll press close. So now you can see that we have a grading form attached to this submission. So the first thing I want to show you is just down here. If I just drag this up, you can see where we entered our descriptions. Now what this is particularly handy for is if you have shared this grading form with some colleagues, they're able to read the description here and understand exactly what it is each of these boxes were intended for. So let's just make that smaller again. So above here we have 3 boxes that we can fill out comments in. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've just filled out the last box here. I'm just going to click outside of that box, which will trigger Turnitin to save the document. So the next thing we're going to do now is switch over to a student view so you can see how this is displayed to the student. So I'm logged in now as a student, and I've just opened up Feedback Studio for my submission. I'm going to come over here to the instructor feedback icon. You'll notice that our text comment is empty, but this is because we didn't give an overall text comment for this submission. But we have at the top here a View Rubric button, which is slightly confusing. This should really say View Rubric or Grading Form, but we'll click that anyway. And a new window opens. I'll just maximize that. And you'll notice here we have our criteria, our title, our description. And over to the right we have the specific comment for this submission. I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching.